Hello everyone and welcome to another video. This week I have a variety of crafty projects that I'm hoping to work on, and I figured I would share that with you. So yeah, we have some sewing, some knitting, some drawing, I got some new books. So I'm just gonna take you along with me as I work on creative projects and try to avoid staring into the darkness of my phone. Okay, so I think first up, a little knitting update. I am almost done with my big project of the summer. I've been mostly focusing on one big knitting project for the past couple of months, and that is the October sweater by Petite Knit. I've got it here. Let's see. I'm almost done. I am doing the ribbing at the cuff on the second sleeve, and then that's it. So hopefully in this video I will be able to finish it and block it and show you kind of the final result. But it's navy blue, and here's where I'm at with the sleeve. I can show you the finished sleeve on this side. And yeah, it's just a really classic raglan crew neck sweater. It does have an interesting side split detail at the hem where the back is a little bit longer than the front. See the split there, I think. So I'm knitting this with two different yarns from Knit Picks. One is the palette and one is the gloss lace weight. And held together, it's making a really nice fabric. Yeah, I knit a navy Lakes pullover by Ozetta, and while I really liked it, it pills a ton. The yarn that I used for that, it ended up creating kind of like an open weave, and it pills a lot, and it's quite oversized. And so I wanted to make the October sweater because I think the fit is going to be a little bit better. The fabric I've created here is a little bit more dense, and I'm hoping that holding the two yarns together, I won't get as much pilling. So yeah, I'll show you, hopefully in this video, I will have finished it. As I said, I only have the cuff left to do, and I'm really happy with how that's going. Also, I recently made a purchase, my first purchase from Little Knits, which is a shop outside of Seattle, Washington, I think. And they had a big sale going on, and a lot of their yarn was like bundled into lots of 5 or 10 skeins and was like 50% off. So I got one of their 10 skein bundles of Cascade BFL, which is 100% Blueface Leicester, I think? Blueface BFL. And I got this lovely kind of like warm chocolatey brown. Is that upside down? No, that's fine. So this yarn is like a DK weight. It's 100 grams, 262 yards. So 10 of these. I'm planning on making at least 2 projects, and I kind of have my eye on sweater number 13, I believe, by My Favorite Things Knitwear. It has kind of like a 70s feel to it. It has a broken rib texture all over, and the sample is shown in kind of a similar chocolatey brown. So I'm thinking about that. It's also a DK weight gauge. And I have also just cast on a new project because I'm almost at the end of my sweater project and I wanted to have something new to work on. So I've just cast on a free pattern for a shawl, and I think it's called the Sunday Morning Wrap by this designer. It's, as I said, it's a free pattern. I can link it for you. And I probably should have finished a row, but there's not much to show so far. I can put a picture up of what the wrap looks like. It's kind of like a trapezoid shape, and it just has sections of twisted rib and sections of stockinette. And so I've done the first section of twisted ribbing, and now I'm on to the first stockinette section. I think that repeats like 5 times, and it's working up really beautifully. Oop, I'll try to... So it's going to be quite large. I think you cast on 220, something like that, stitches, and then it increases from there. So yeah, just a lovely kind of warm Sunday morning wrap. And I think that's going to be really nice to have in the fall. So yeah, those are my current knitting, almost done and just started projects. And then, in addition to knitting, I recently came into some fabric that I didn't order. So I made a fabric order, and for whatever reason, one of the fabrics was like sold out before my order shipped out, and someone in the warehouse decided to throw in a random fabric. Maybe they thought it was like an equivalent. It's not. I reached out to the company and they refunded me for that fabric, but I'm not going to pay to ship back what they sent me. So this is just kind of a free bonus fabric that I didn't want, but now I have. So I'm going to challenge myself to find something to do with it so that it's not just sitting in stash and taking up space for the foreseeable future. So the unwanted, but you know, the free mystery fabric is this white, stretchy, I'm gonna say cotton spandex mix. That's my guess, because it feels like a t-shirt fabric, but it definitely has stretch to it. And it's white, it's like an optic white. I'm not really interested in making a bunch of white t-shirts. So I have over 3 yards and it's quite wide. And yeah, I reached out on my Instagram stories and I was like, hey, what do you guys think I should do with this? A lot of people suggested dyeing it. And while that is a fun experiment and adventure that I could take, I have tried to use like RIT dye probably 4 times. At least 3 or 4 times. And I've tried different methods. I've tried different containers. I've tried different temperatures and times and amounts of dye and the powder dye and the liquid dye. I really have tried and I've never been successful. The color has always been inconsistent and like patchy. So some areas were solid and some were lighter. Almost like a one color tie-dye effect. I've never been able to get it to do what I wanted. And even on the times when it's been the most consistent, I found that it feels kind of like chalky looking and dull. I've just never had a good result using RIT dye. Maybe there's another dye, I don't know, but I'm not super interested in like ruining all of this fabric. Even though I didn't order it, I would hate to try to dye it and then not want to use it, you know? So I think I'm gonna keep it white, and I'm debating what I want to do with it, but I want to do something with it. So a lot of people suggested that I could make like a jumpsuit, and I don't know, something about a stretchy t-shirt material for a jumpsuit isn't super appealing. I thought about making a lounge set, so like maybe a tank top and shorts. I probably would still have some fabric left over, but I might try that. I was thinking maybe like a t-shirt dress, essentially a nightgown. I don't know that I would wear a white t-shirt dress out in the world. Also, if you watched last week's video, you might know that I'm kind of turned off of making t-shirts at the moment. So yeah, I was looking around and I found a few free patterns. I know that Helen's Closet has a stretch knit tank pattern that's free, and I have a variety of elastic waist pants and shorts patterns that I could probably pair with it to have a little lounge sleep set. Unfettered Patterns does have a couple of free t-shirt dress patterns if I choose to go that route. And yeah, part of this week's crafty adventure, I'm going to find something to do with this because there's a lot of it. It's taking up quite a bit of space. Someone recommended to make a fitted sheet. I could make a fitted sheet, but I have a lot of fitted sheets and it's not exciting to me. I want to make something I can wear. So I'll have a little dig through and see what patterns are available to me, and we'll see. We're going to cut into this fabric this week. We're going to make something. So another thing that I've been doing to keep me from doom scrolling is I've been trying to read a lot more recently, and I've been really enjoying that. I go through periods of time where I read constantly, and then periods of time where I just kind of forget to do it, and when I get back into it, I feel like I'm coming back to myself. So I've been trying to read a lot more recently. I just finished a book that I absolutely flew through and loved, and that was, I think I have it actually right here. So I just finished The Lincoln Highway by Amor Towles. He wrote A Gentleman in Moscow. I love this book. It was entirely absorbing. I felt quickly and consistently connected to the characters. It features two brothers who their father has passed away, and they're kind of given his farm that was failing, and they decide, for reasons I won't get into, that they're going to move on from that. And it takes them on an adventure kind of across the United States, and there's lots of twists and turns, and it's very exciting. It's really heartfelt. It's a big book, and I read it incredibly quickly, and I had no desire to put it down to pick up and scroll. So very highly recommend this one. And then I just started the Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kingsolver. She wrote Demon Copperhead, which I really loved, and that was the first book of hers that I have read. And so I decided to pick this one up. I believe it has something to do with like a missionary family in Africa, but as I said, I've only read a few pages so far, so I can't speak too much about it, except to say that I really enjoy her writing, and it really pulls you into the world, the environment of the story. So yeah, I have high hopes for this one. I know a lot of people like this one. And then last night actually, we went to Half Price Books, which is like a used secondhand bookstore. And I picked up 3 books. I got 2 books of short stories by Alice Munro. She is the Nobel Prize winner in literature. People have nothing but good things to say about her short stories. So I have Runaway and Dear Life. They're both award-winning collections of short stories, and as I said, she won the Nobel Prize for literature, so I'm a lover of a good short story. I'm excited to dive into these. When I shared my book haul on Instagram, I got a message about Monroe and the controversy that was discovered after her death, and the person that sent me this message was like, how can you support this person? How can you recommend their work, etc. I was not aware of said controversy. I have since looked it up and it's not great. But I will say that if I had to remove from my bookshelf any book written by someone who had done something wrong in their life or hurt someone, I would have empty bookshelves. So I'm going to read these. I hope that they're fantastic, and there's a whole conversation about separating the art from the artist. I'll let you know after I've read them what I think. And then I also picked up a book by Haruki Murakami. This is quite a large book. It's a hardback as well, and it's Killing Commendatore. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but I'm really excited about this one. I love Murakami's work. I've read, I don't know, maybe half a dozen of them, and I'm excited to read this one because it centers around a portrait painter and art, and of course, because it's Murakami, there's always sort of some like fantastical elements. And I'm excited. I've heard good things, but not a lot, and I kind of like going into a book not knowing too much about it, so I think this one might be the next like big one that I read after I finish the Poisonwood Bible, and I'll probably also simultaneously go through those short stories. And something else that I've been doing to kind of occupy my hands and occupy my mind is I've been doing a lot of drawing recently, which is really nice. Sometimes I find that working on a painting can be hard to do when you've got kids at home, and yeah, I've been enjoying doing some little charcoal sketches recently, and I think one of them I like enough to actually do a painting from. So I think hopefully this week I will take the time to take said charcoal drawing and put it onto canvas and start a new painting. It's something that when I do it, I feel really fulfilled by it, and it's something that can feel kind of hard to get to. So I'm going to try and prioritize that this week as well. I would love to know what crafty, creative things you guys are getting into this week. I hope that you'll stick around and we can create together.